Hey there, it has been a year since my husband and I have purchased our land in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. I was reviewing our finances this month as we're getting to the end of May, and I thought it would be fun, or maybe not so fun, to look back and see what all have we purchased from Amazon. So Amazon is convenient and pretty easy to get things delivered, and especially when we are bouncing back and forth between our property up north and then coming back to the lower peninsula to then get our things together and then head back up. Having things delivered when we arrived back home was very convenient, so we did do this quite a lot. And I had really no idea what the dollar amount would be. And obviously, not everything was bought on Amazon, but I thought it would be fun to take a look and just see what the hidden costs of buying land is, right? You have to pay for the land itself, but then there's all these things that you want to do once you get to your land. So I just thought it would be fun to see what we have put into the property so far. And I do have an Amazon total. I am not totaling up everything because I will probably pass out, but it is probably in the, I think we're hitting the 20,000 range with everything, with the equipment we've bought, with the buildings that we are putting up. So I'm going to go ahead and share. I put everything that I have purchased for our little UP homestead over the past year on an Amazon list, and I'm going to share that in the description of the video. And I do not get any affiliate money or nothing. This is just a list I'm sharing with you. Costs you nothing to click on these. Does nothing for me. It's just I wanted to share what we had purchased in our first year. So as you go to buy land, you can think of the things you may or may not need as you are getting into your vacant land or your new homestead purchase. So I added in everything I have. I don't have a count of this, but it does come up to about $4,200. I've added a couple things in since then, so it may be a little higher. It's probably more like 45 now. Um, let me, I will update my total and I will add that in. So you can see my total on the screen here. So I have added everything in. I'm going from high to low. So not everything was purchased on Amazon, but the things I could find, I did add in just so you could see. So and these are in no particular order. These are ordered from most expensive to least. So at the top of the list, we have a wood chipper. We did get this thinking we would be able to chip up everything. There's a lot of slash on the ground. It has been very handy. We have found that it does not work very well with dead tree limbs. It does work really good with fresh trees that we cut down, so that has been great. We also installed a solar system. So we had purchased this battery. We purchased this directly from Lifetime. You can get a better deal on their website. We purchased a generator as a backup to solar. So we did update to add a solar tracking system this year. And this does follow the sun. There's a power box and a panel for the power system itself. And it tracks the sun as it goes from east to west, which has been very cool. And it does definitely add input to your power. We purchased a pure sine wave power inverter to go with our solar system. This is in our camper. So let me go back and say we have 116 acres in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. We have cleared the part of this by the road where we do have a paved road that has power and such. We do not have power on site, but we have a camper that we are running off solar on our property. So that is what our current status is. When we first came to the property, we did not have a septic tank. We have our septic system on site. We were using these totes. We had one already and we bought a second one. So we would fill up the two totes and then take them to a local campground and dump them. So that's what we did last year. We did have a septic system put in last fall. So this year we don't need to do that. So there's another expense, right? The septic system was $7,000. So things add up fast. I purchased this Bluetti power bank for mainly to use during the day to make sure my laptop was charged. We use this every day. We use it overnight to plug in a fan, and that's mostly what we use it for now. Our solar has been keeping the camper charged up pretty well. This is a solar charge controller. This is a new one. We had one that we started with, and this one we just updated to this one with our 8 panels. We have put in a rainwater collection, and this is the pump that we bought to help us get water from the IBC tote to in through the lines and into our camper. We did update our our chairs in our camper. We took the couch out and bought 2 of these chairs. This is the charger that we just recently bought this year. This is the correct way to charge your battery, and it does a much better job of just charging it through the camper, which we didn't realize it wasn't charging correctly last year. So our solar input has really increased this year due to this charger is actually charging our batteries correctly. We took out some of the benching in our camper and put these chairs in. This is our original charge controller that we bought last year. Solar wire. We had 100 feet of line last year up to the front of our property, and this year we have moved our solar panels over to another field, which is about 200 feet away. So we've done this, I think, twice now. We have a couple cell cameras. So we have a camera that shows our camper and our shed that we have built, and then we also have one on our trail. There's a snowmobile trail that goes to our property, and we wanted to keep an eye on it over the winter. So this is the solar panel for that. This fan is on sale. Hold on. Okay, so we have one of these fans, and I believe it was $150 the last time I looked, and now it's $109. This is a really, really good fan. We're gonna get another one. It runs all night on battery. You can plug it in and charge it and run it that way too. Really love it. We're gonna get another one, and it looks like it's cheaper because I could have sworn it was $150, but maybe I was wrong. But since we were in the beautiful UP, we went to the local thrift store and bought cross-country skis, which is really fun. But I did get my boots for the skis at the thrift store as well, but my husband did not have his size, and we couldn't find any on Facebook Marketplace, so he did buy his boots. So we did get to go cross-country skiing this winter, and it was fabulous. We went quite a few times. Great exercise, great way to see the wilderness. We picked up these water filters. We have not installed them yet. They are going to be added to our IBC tote rainwater situation. And then here's another pump that we have. We have a wagon with the blue totes for water, and we're doing some small brush fires in a ring just to be safe so we don't burn the UP down, but we're being very safe, and we use this pump with the blue water totes so we can have a hose in case the fire gets out of hand. So that's what we use this pump for. This is a Flush Max for rainwater collection. This you could probably do a DIY, but this is it's an easy way so that the rainwater coming off our shed first fills up a pipe, and then that does not go into our collection system. It gets rid of that like first initial water that could be dirty, and then the clean water goes into our tank. We purchased this antenna thinking we would be hooking up for TV, and we have not even installed it yet. So hopefully this year we'll see if we even get any channels. This is supposed to be long, so we're hoping we can get to Sault Ste. Marie or Marquette or wherever the radio antenna TV channels come from. So hopefully, fingers crossed this works. Um, right now we do have a Starlink that we did purchase this year as well. It is not on here. Um, and the Starlink, we have a Sling subscription, so we watch Sling. So we don't really need this. I probably should have returned it, but that's fine. We have been buying the eco-worthy 100-watt panels. They are very good. It is cheaper if you get two at a time rather than one, but they do have a bundle. We haven't had any problems with these, and the output has been really good. This is another solar panel for one of our trail cams. We did purchase some snowshoes, so this is times two, and just so we could walk into our property and kind of walk around. It is a lot of exercise, to say the least. We did this a few times, but um, just fun to be able to go up to the UP and then walk around, and you don't sink as much in the snow, which is nice because in some places you can sink up to your waist, which is fun. So here is some solar wire we purchased to extend our cables. This iZeekr trail camera works really well. It doesn't lock shut, so if you're worried about people messing with your camera, I would not get this, but otherwise it works really well. This is not cellular. You just go out and get your card. We use this one mainly in our area where we have deer that come up, so we can watch the deer. This leaf eater is $50. I don't know if it's really worth it. We are using this. You could probably DIY something for much cheaper. This shade cloth we put over our camper because we are in a little bit of a sunny area just to keep the shade off. And you can definitely tell the difference from where the sun is shining to where you're underneath the shade. It feels cooler definitely under the shade, and has helped keep our need for air conditioning in the camper down. We just put this, we have it hooked to trees on the side of our camper, and it just goes right over the top, not connected to the camper at all. I picked up this measuring wheel just so I could measure like distances between things. It works pretty well. It does spin easily, so you have to be careful. If you pick it up, it'll still be spinning and tracking inches, but it works pretty well for what I needed. We have a lot of land, and I wanted to be able to measure from one survey marker to another, so that's what I picked that up for. So these glow sticks we use when we go Uber lighting. You go out to the beach at night and you have your 365 UV lights, and we usually put a couple of these at the trail entrance or on a log or somewhere so we don't miss where we parked our car. We've been going Uperlite hunting for quite a few years, and it definitely is a lot harder to find them now than it was like 6 or 7 years ago, but it is fun and it is a lot easier to find Uperlites than it is agates. Just saying, agates are a bummer because you really have to look, but the Uperlites just kind of glow at you, which is fun. It's a lot of fun if you haven't done it. We picked up these solar lights to go on our shed and around where we have our trailer parked, around up by our camper, just so if anything is out there at night, we have some visibility of what's going on. We did pick up a four-wheeler, a cheap used four-wheeler from a dealer, and we put a winch on it. In addition to the four-wheeler, we did buy a couple used snowmobiles off of Facebook Marketplace, which that was great to be able to go up to the UP in winter and go to our property and zoom around. And the snowmobile trail goes through our property, so it was kind of fun to be able to ride the snowmobiles through there this winter. I like to walk around in the woods, and I have this bear spray, and I think I have a holder for the bear spray too. I try and take it with me, but I don't always. We have seen sign of bear, but At first, I was kind of freaked out about bears, and now I'm not too worried about it. I do make sure I have a knife in my pocket at all times when I'm walking around, but otherwise, I don't always take my bear spray with me, but I do have it in a bag that I usually have on my backpack if I'm walking around for a while. So for our camper, we did buy one of these Max Air vents just so we could leave the vent open in the rain. That was a problem for a while. Um, And then these camera locks, these are essentially the same thing. One is big and one is little. I think they were out of the little one the first time I ordered and I had to buy a big one, but these are metal and go on the trail camera so you don't have to worry about people stealing them. So that's what those are for. If you haven't used one of these Corona saws, these are excellent. I've cut down probably hundreds of trees with this little saw. Take it out with me everywhere I go. Really love it. This straw shave tool we just started recently using. We got that to take bark off trees so we can make poles for fencing and things. We have hundreds of trees that are right around the right size for making poles, and we can take the bark off, and then the poles will last longer. So that's what we use that for. This plastic sheeting is just what we use to cover up our IBC tote to keep the sun out so that the water doesn't grow algae or anything in it. We picked up some tire covers for our camper tires, and our camper is setting on pavers, so we drove up on pavers and then we cover our tires with this to keep the sun from rotting the tires. We picked up some no hunting or trespassing signs. So these I put on trees directly, but I need to go back through and redo them. I think it would be a lot better to have posts and then have your sign on a little board. But we bought the property and wanted everybody to know that we were there because it had been open to the public for like years and years and years, and people were used to coming through there. A lot of people think it was state land and it's not. So we just wanted to make sure our presence was known and we put these up all over when we first got there. But going forward, I would recommend to take the time and put them on a board and put the board on a post and then put those out in a nice straight line across your property line. I'll be doing that over the course of the next, I don't know, few years or so. I don't know how, I'm not too worried about it right now, but camera cards for the camera, memory cards for the camera. These master locks are really nice, and you can get them where they're key to like, I believe. So when you buy them in a 2-pack like that, so these I believe these have the same keys, but I'm not 100% sure. These work really good on the cameras. We picked up these little lanterns to have around our camper if we need a quick light. They're great. This clothesline we put in our shower in the camper. We have a small bathroom in a camper. It's a 26-foot camper, so it's not very big. So we have two of these actually. So I have a line for my towel and a line for my husband's towel or whatever, right? So that's nice. We have cats with us, so I picked up this self-warming mat for the cats to lay on, and I don't believe I have this anymore, but it is very nice and fluffy. It just doesn't clean very well, so it did get dirty, and I had to throw it away. We picked up this RV generator adapter, so we're plugging our camper into our generator at times, and that's what that was for. I had this pretty RV shower curtain, but was too short, so watch what size you get. And I did not use this and did not return it in the time, so it's sitting somewhere. Here is another one of those RV plug conversion type things to put in your generator so you have a ground. We needed two of these, I believe one for our inverter for the solar and one for the generator itself. This pack of flagging tape has come in very handy, and I'm just about ready to need another one. I will say, however, that the yellows in my area do not work very well because there's a lot of yellow leaves, and I would highly recommend staying away from yellow if you're in an area where the trees turn for fall. I have the orange and the pink and the green and all of that. Those seem to work pretty well, but the yellow is really hard to see from a distance. These are solar power parts. My husband does that. I don't know nothing about it, but we need cutoff switches and circuit breakers and things. And some of these are for the old, and some of these might be from the new. These look, yeah, this is a 40 amp was our previous, what we used last year, and then I had to get a 50 amp for this year to use. We have some headlamps. These work really nice when you're going out Yooper lighting at the beach at night. Or if you're just out and about outside at night, you can have these on your head and then your hands are free, and that's nice. These slim portable chargers are nice. We have one in our vehicle, we have one in our camper, we have them in our, we have some like emergency get out of Dodge backpacks, right? We have a few of these around. They're nice to use, and we have a sound machine at night, and we run it off of that too, so that's nice. I picked up some homestead books, so this is how to live your life more sufficiently in the woods. So this is a fun read. Uh, these water tanks, we get these. You can get these at Walmart, but we have like 8 of these. They're really nice for carrying water. Strip protector just used for various things inside the camper. Our toilet cleaner. Did you know you're not supposed to use regular toilet cleaner on your RV toilet cleaner? It can eat the pipes and things, so you have to have the special cleaner to make sure that everything's okay. These are just command hooks I got for the bathroom to hang up our broom and things in the bathroom. Tick checks. We've had so many ticks this year, we've lost count. They're in the camper, they're on us, they're everywhere. We go outside for just a minute to do a quick thing and come in and there's a tick on us. So we have like 2 different sets of these tick pullers, and we just got some tick medicine for our cats to put on. Even though the cats don't go outside, we are bringing ticks in, so we want to protect our cats. So we also just picked up some permethrin, and we're going to make spray to spray our clothes because the ticks are just ridiculous this year. We have a lot of mushrooms growing in our property, so we got this book to just take a look and see what they are, and it kind of explains which ones are edible and not edible and all of that, so it was a nice thing to have a reference. This is for our water tank, so we can hook a hose up to it and get water out. Another Managing Your Woods book. Silicone toilet cleaner. I picked up this electricity monitor just because we're more in tune with how much electricity things are pulling this year. This has been a great buy to just see, like, what is the coffee pot running? Like, we actually switched from using our coffee maker to a percolator, which I don't have on my list, but we purchased a percolator and the coffee is good. It takes about 15 minutes once the water's boiling, and it's been a huge savings on our solar power. So we can go all day now without needing to charge our battery. As long as it's sunny, we're good. And I think last year what was killing us was our coffee maker because we're big coffee drinkers, and we made 2 pots of coffee every day, and it just really sucked our battery down. So now that we've moved to the percolator, it has been very good, and I'll find the percolator and add it to the list when I'm done with this here, but it's been good. This is a safety blaster. This is another thing I got for bears, right? So this is easy to carry, lightweight, and makes a really loud noise when you blow into it. So this is just a bear safety thing. And there's my bear holster I got for my bear spray, though I just pretty much have it attached to my string backpack that I wear. When we first went to the camper, we had no internet, um, or not a lot of internet. We were using cell phone signal, so we were using our VCR. So this is just a miscellaneous thing I picked up to clean our VCR. Our old VCR we hardly ever used, but we used it when we first went up there because there was not enough internet right to use. But now we have a Starlink, so we watch Sling, but and we don't use our VCR at all. But things you don't think about, like what are you going to do at night when you're after dinner and you usually sit down and watch TV or whatever. You need to entertain yourself. I picked up some of this nano mounting tape. The first thing I used it on, it fell right off the wall. I had a clock, a little plastic cheap clock, and put it up on the wall. And I think I didn't clean the wall or the clock, and it was oily and it fell right down. I really haven't used this too much since. It seems really sticky. I'm not, no, I don't know if I'm really sold on it or not, but the idea is good if it would work. More tick removing tools. You can never have too many. Loose leaf rings. So this was just something we picked up for our shed. So we purchased our shed plans from shedking.com and then we printed them on legal or ledger size paper. So the big paper, like 14 by 11 or whatever. I'm not sure what the size is. 14 by, yeah, that might be right. 14 by 11 ledger paper. And then we put holes in it and we use these loose leaf rings, which was really nice because then my husband could flip through the plans and not get them all messed up and kept them organized. We had to buy extra cat crates because we're going back and forth with our cats in the car, right? So that's something we had to pick up and logistically figure out how to get our cats back and forth safely. We also bought a liner to go in our truck to protect the seats. We purchased this gazebo, and really at first we were thinking at night we would sit outside in the gazebo and not be, we'd be able to look at the stars. This has the ceiling was clear, like so you could see through it. You could take that tarp off and see the sky through your gazebo. So we thought it would be cool to sit outside and do that. We really haven't used it. We are usually outside doing something and moving around. We don't usually just sit out there and do nothing. So we haven't really used that too much. We put up a bunch of private property signs just because we had the trail and we bought gates. So there's another thing that I didn't list. We went to Tractor Supply and bought gates for each end of the trail and put signs on it. The squeegee was just something for our UTV, our side by side, to keep the window clean because there's a lot of bugs in the UP, and when you're on the trails, your windshield gets really dirty. And Tacticam. This is a reveal. This is a really nice camera, works really good. Here is a air conditioner. This is an inverter air conditioner we recently bought. It is very low energy usage, which is very solar friendly. It is very quiet. You can barely hear that it is on. If you look on YouTube, there's a lot of videos with reviews of this. We were watching somebody doing a review, and being that it is so low watts that it used, we decided to give it a try, and it definitely is low usage and solar friendly. Highly recommend, and it cools our camper down really fast. And here is the percolator that we purchased to use instead of our coffee maker. Again, trying to keep our solar power usage down. This comes with a little canister. What we do is we take the regular 12 cup, the round coffee filter, and we cut a little X in the center of it, and it goes in this cup, and then you can have filtered coffee through your percolator because apparently if you just drink coffee straight without a filter, it can raise your cholesterol. Have you heard of this? I don't know if it's true or not, but we do like to have coffee without grounds in it. So we have been using the regular round filters and making them fit in here. And we boil our water and then we set a 15-minute timer on low heat, and coffee's been fine. So it's been a nice addition to keep our power usage down. But yeah, so that is a lot of the things I bought on Amazon. There are some other things. We did build a shed. So the shed, the wood for the shed, it was 192 square foot shed. It was about probably $3,000 for the wood. We bought a brush hog from our local like farm and fleet store. That was about $3,000. A pretty good investment there. We bought IBC tote, is one of those big 275-gallon totes where you can store water and do rain catchment off our shed. And we've been doing that. So that was like a $60 thing we bought off Facebook Marketplace, which has been a great resource for things. We bought a burn barrel for like $10 off Facebook Marketplace. We did end up getting a four-wheeler. We already had a side-by-side, but it was really nice for us to each have our own little vehicle so we could go to different parts of the property separately without walking. So we picked up a used four-wheeler at a dealership in Wisconsin, which was pretty cool. We bought a couple snowmobiles off Facebook Marketplace and a trailer. My husband used to snowmobile when he was younger, and I had never done it. We picked up two snowmobiles and a trailer really cheap off Facebook Marketplace, and so far, knock on wood, they have been really good. We got through our first season and everything was fine with them. And then besides that, we have made almost daily trips to Ace Hardware for something, be it bug spray, be it nuts or screws or something from Ace Hardware. Lots of things, Menards, Home Depot, Ace Hardware in Newberry. We would go and get propane there. They refill the 20-pound tanks. And then last year we spent a lot of money on gas for our generator. This year we've only ran our generator twice so far, which has been pretty awesome. We had a septic tank installed last year, which was a pretty penny. I think we're going to stick with solar for power, but we'll have to get a well put in so we don't have to bring in water. We're going to local campground watering holes to get water currently, or bringing water from home in our blue totes. So yeah, so there are a lot of things that I would call the hidden costs of buying land. And there's more things coming, right? Why are you buying the land? Oh, you're buying the land to hunt. Are you going to build a deer blind? Oh yeah. Oh, are you going to build a deer blind? Or are you going to go buy one of those fancy ones, right? So everything costs money, whether you build it yourself or whether you buy, or maybe you're creative and can do things for very little money. But everything, it's like getting the land is one thing, but there's like all the stuff you want to do, right? So like we're putting up a fence and we're cutting down the trees that we have that are making poles, but that's a lot of labor, so we're doing that to save money. We are putting a gate in at one end of our fence, which we had left over from ones we had last year, but you can get a lot on Facebook Marketplace, but just be careful because there's a lot of crazy people out there too who want to try and rip you off, so you got to be careful of that. We are upgrading our propane tank this year, so we just purchased $100. Well, we didn't purchase it, I guess. We went to the local propane place and told them we wanted a 100-pound tank. So they gave us a 100-pound tank and they filled it for us. And they took a $50 deposit. It was like $200, I think. And then that should last quite a while, and then we'll just have to go and get it refilled. But we do have to take the tank in to them to refill it. They won't come to you for that size tank, and you're not allowed to get anything bigger than that because of a camper. So we're working through that. So that should help keep us with more propane longer. And yeah, so that's what I had today. I'll go through and add in the few things that I missed. And just know that when you buy your land, there's going to be more things coming, right? All the improvements you want to do, all the things that are going to make the land great. So the first time I looked at my Amazon list and it came up to like $4,200, which I didn't think was too bad because I was pretty scared for a while. I wasn't sure what it was going to be. But yeah, I think it helps. We're not able to get deliveries to our land because we don't have an address, right? It's just vacant land. We can't get deliveries. So that has helped a lot because we're thinking through more of what we want to get and planning for that. And I'm trying not to fuel Amazon as much as possible, and I try and go to the local stores as much as possible. But yeah, so just something to know. Thanks for listening.